Well, after 4 years' wait, here we go. The Lions arrived the day before yesterday. The medics and the physios said to the management, we don't want you doing too much, take it easy. But today is different. Today is going to be a full-on session here in Santon. Today is where the 2009 Lions tour to South Africa begins for real. Players from 4 nations coming together. They're just in the second week of the tour, and as I've said, this is the first big day of training in South Africa. Robert Howley, he's talking about what they've got to do in attack, but attack or defence, just listen to the noise. Communication, Irish, Welsh, English, Scottish. It's all about knowing where you are, knowing where the support is, knowing where the depth is coming from. Sean Edwards now. Seen Rob Howley talking about attack. Edwards on defence, it's the breakdown, it's all important. Just heard him shouting there, make sure you rip the ball out of his hands. What's happening there at the moment in these drills, the ball carrier's going down, the tackler's with him, the first guy is going in, over the top, almost like a letter end. Sean's going, rip it out of his hands. Don't let him hold on to it. It's the breakdown, it's important. If the Lions are going to win this series, they've got to win that battle. Just starting to get physical now. Tackle bags, imagine those are South Africans. Get over the gain line, always go forward a metre. This series might be won by a matter of centimetres, whether the Lions go forwards or backwards. Warren Gatland looking on now. He loves this physical, this intimidating stuff. Let's hear from the Lions coach himself now, Warren Gatland.
Well, defensively we've done a little bit of work, and then just on attack over the next couple of weeks we'll be really working hard at the breakdown. And we just take it back to basics about winning the collisions. If you win the collision at the breakdown, you're on the front foot, you can get some quick ball. If you lose those collisions, you can be in a bit of trouble.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, Will, with relation to the laws. In the Super 14, they've been playing free kick at the breakdown. You know, you could pull down the rolling mauls, but that's all going to change back for the Lions tour. It's going to revert to a sort of integrated law, if you like, of now penalty offences at the breakdown, and the rolling maul is back as well. I mean, how big an impact do you think that's going to have?
Well, you have to look at all the positives going in this Test series with the Lions viewed as underdogs, and that ability to train a little bit longer with these new laws. And I was watching the final game of the Super 14 in the round stages between the Bulls and the Sharks, and the Bulls, they couldn't defend them all when they were allowed to defend them all. I mean, here they are, the Sharks, with, you know, they had Cockett and Keegan Daniel at the back. That's not a particularly well-structured maul going forward, and yet the Bulls couldn't do anything about it, and there'll be 3 or 4 of those Bulls forwards playing in that first test. So, of course, every week, every day that the Lions can practice those, whilst the South Africans are still playing with the old new laws, then we've got an advantage.
I think we have got an advantage. It's big. It doesn't matter whether you're big. If you're technically not good at that, and now you can't bring it down, it's a strength. And I think with the likes of O'Connell, with O'Callaghan, Shaw, you know, all these guys have experienced the weapon of the rolling maul. I think it will be an added advantage. And we talked a bit about Spieth. He's going to have to come in. He can't Nancy-dancy around in the midfield. He's got to come in and help these boys.
You've got to give Nancy-dancy, does he?
I don't think so. I don't think this isn't good at South Africa, is it? Anyway.
All right, let's move it back.
See what I mean?
Yeah, let's move it back away from the laws onto the first game as well. You know, the first squad has been selected, if you like. What about those guys that have been excluded? Are they churning at the moment? Are they frustrated?
Very much. They can't wait. You actually cannot wait to have that name called out when Ian McGeechan or Gerald Davis reads the next team out for the next game. You want your name to be there front and centre, because all that frustration, all that energy being pent up inside of you, you're desperate to get out in that field and actually make sure that you earned the right to being called a British and Irish Lion. And that's the big thing.
It's the most amazing thing, honestly, as a rugby player, for me personally, I think, but I speak for a lot of people, when Ian McGeechan gives you that first shirt, not necessarily a test shirt, that is incredibly important, but when he goes and just think about the people who have worn this before you, go out and have a good game. And that is quite...
Are you wanting players in your position to be having good games in these first ones?
Absolutely. Early on, it's the importance of being a unit as a team, as 36 players, understanding the bigger picture. As soon as you get people thinking, oh, I'm not getting the chance, little cliques forming, then you are done for.
You can't survive. The tour cannot survive and cannot be successful without that collective spirit. And Ian McGeechan has talked about it. Gerald Davis talked about it in the team announcement. When the squad announcement, he talked about being smart, but also getting those core issues back front and centre.
It happened in '93. The midweek party didn't actually back at the test party. It didn't happen in '97. And see what happened.
First run out at altitude.
It's all about mates. It's all about your team. It's all about taking the knocks and whatever happens on a tour. And I think I've just got a nice smiley feeling about this British and Lions Irish tour. I think they're bonding well together. They've got some great characters and they've got some fantastic athletes.
The dynamics seem good at the moment. It does seem good. Obviously, wait for the first game to start, but the dynamics seem really good. The chemistry, Spot on.
And first week, I've got to be honest, altitude, schmaltitude. They will be superhuman coming out of that changing room. It doesn't matter whether they play at 28,000 feet. They are wearing the red jersey that you grow up wanting to wear.
The adrenaline will be flowing, will it, Dewi?
Well, it will be, because I love the Lions. It's as simple as that. Ever since watching...
Talking for the players, but it's
I do,
adrenaline
but I
for
just
you
love
as well.
watching it from the 74, the history. My dad went out in 83, watched his son in 93 go out. Ian's been there. We've all been there. We just want a successful tour. We want these boys to go out with pride wearing that badge.
We're excited, can you tell?
Slightly.
Nearly time to go. Here's what's coming your way.